What if the most terrifying monster isn't under your bed but walking among us, unnoticed in the shadows? In the heart of the 30s, a sinister figure roamed the streets of Ohio, casting a long, dreadful shadow over the city of Cleveland. This was a time and place gripped by an undercurrent of fear and unease, a city haunted by the spectre of the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run. His identity, a riddle wrapped in a mystery lost to the annals of time. His crimes, brutal in their execution, chilling in their precision. The butcher didn't just kill, he dismembered, transforming the destitute and forgotten into horrific displays of his macabre handiwork. As we set out on this journey, delving into a chilling chapter of history, remember this: the true identity of this monstrous killer remains a mystery. To this day, the whispers in the dark continue, echoing the unanswered question: who was the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run? In the dank underbelly of Cleveland, a deadly game of cat and mouse was unfolding. Amid the city's shadows, those living life on the edge became unwitting pawns in a dance with death. The victims, often society's forgotten souls, encountered a fate more chilling than the bitter Ohio winter. Their lives were extinguished, not with mercy, but with a brutality that left even seasoned lawmen aghast. Each body found was a grim testament to the Mad Butcher's unspeakable deeds. Dismembered and mutilated, the corpses bore the signature of a killer with a dark appetite. The city was not just facing a murderer, it was in the grip of a monster, a phantom who moved through the darkness, leaving only devastation in his wake. As the body count grew, so did the terror that gripped Cleveland. The streets that once bustled with life became ghostly pathways, their silence punctuated only by the distant siren's wail. Men and women locked their doors and whispered their fears, their eyes haunted by the spectre of the Mad Butcher. Yet, in his macabre game, the Mad Butcher did not simply kill and vanish. He taunted the city, the police, the world. Cryptic clues were left alongside the victims, a chilling calling card from the shadows. They hinted at motives as elusive as the killer himself, a twisted puzzle that added an even more terrifying layer to the unfolding horror. Each new clue sent ripples of dread through the city, a chilling reminder that the Mad Butcher was still out there, watching, waiting, selecting his next pawn in this deadly game. Cleveland was not just living in fear, it was living in a nightmare. A terrifying narrative written by a faceless killer who seemed to revel in the city's terror. Yet despite the terror and the clues, the Mad Butcher remained a wisp of smoke, always just out of reach. His macabre game continued, his identity hidden within the shadows, his true nature as elusive as the whispering winds that swept through the city's deserted streets. Even the best minds of the era, including famed lawman Eliot Ness, found themselves chasing shadows. The desperate pursuit to catch the phantom murderer was as perplexing as it was frustrating. Law enforcement officers, led by Ness, found themselves entangled in a labyrinth of dead ends, false leads, and chilling silence. The Mad Butcher's elusive nature was a formidable adversary for the law, leaving them grappling in the dark. This was not a common criminal whose tracks could be traced, but a shadowy figure who disappeared as swiftly as he struck. The investigations were marred by frustration as each promising lead dissolved into nothingness, each potential suspect cleared of charges. The city's fear heightened with their growing impotence. The public's trust waned as the death toll rose, their faith in protection shattered with every new victim. The lawman's pursuit was relentless, yet fruitless. In the end, the Mad Butcher slipped through their fingers, his identity lost to the sands of time. Nearly a century later, the Cleveland Torso murders remain one of the most haunting unsolved mysteries in America. The chilling tale of the Mad Butcher, the unidentified phantom who terrorized the streets of Ohio in the 1930s, continues to captivate and confound us. His reign of terror, marked by a macabre game of cat and mouse with law enforcement, left a trail of dismembered corpses and a city trembling in fear. Despite the relentless pursuit by famed lawman Eliot Ness and the best minds of the era, the Mad Butcher's identity remains shrouded in the shadows of history. The lingering echoes of his victims, the destitute and forgotten, still resonate within the fabric of the city, a chilling reminder of a dark past. As we delve into the twisted corridors of this unsolved mystery, the enduring fascination with the case keeps the memory of the victims alive. As we step back from the shadows of Kingsbury Run, one question remains: who was the Mad Butcher? The